with these guys. They don't want to hear black guys that ain't them. Right. So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
The FBA, Foundational Black
Washed up, silly dickhead with a podcast. Anyone could do that if he came across my TikTok feed. Him talking down on the sheet. I don't know him personally, but Dr. Clyde do sort of indicate. Talk down on FBA without Yoshi, my lyrical killer, voodoo Zulu nigga. I'm from America, but down the line, African gorillas. Tinkerbell talkers, hyena walkers. One who learned to swim from Mommy Walker. Shrines, post giving altars. Buzzers, scrubs, gators, and even vultures. I'm speaking to all my black aunties and uncles. It's time to take back our money. Can't keep this shit, no more fathers. I see one to live full of warning. The awakening is walking among the trick says 70% of his rap is make believe. That's why this fake fucker would never be a G.
First of all, Fat Joseph, who the fuck asked you anything? Second of all, why do non-black people feel so comfortable to speak on black Americans and black American culture? Do you forget, fat fucker, who let you in? Cause we wouldn't even root for you, bitch. We like Bud, not you.
That's true. You came off a copy of Dre Snoop.
The FBA.
That's FBA deep cover pun stood out while your lyrics was a knockoff. Goofy ass can't trash talk now while you knock need ass can't walk. Humpty Dumpty egghead ass.
The FBA.
Put your ass on game cracker.
The FBA.
Gave your ass all your swagger.
The FBA.
Taught your ass how to rap, so it's funny how someone could bite the hand that down. We are the foundational black Americans. This is not fiction like your wagon storytelling. Styles and Luch may approve, but we don't. There's some things that you do and what you said you
Saying
don't.
is, hey, there isn't any Puerto Rican lifestyle, influence, lingo, or slang that created hip hop. Neither is it Jamaican, neither is it Cuban, neither is it parts of Africa, Guyana, wherever. They came and did what black Americans were already doing. The lifestyle that they were living, the way that they were dressing, the way that
They was spitting about life and having women love us. Hood famous, cars riding by jamming us. Him and J-Lo must be cousins, cause they set up in the back, half-ass studied us.
We don't want to include other people. All we have done is included you motherfuckers. The pink slip, the barbecue slip has been given out left and right. We are the most inviting group of people. But what y'all really mad, and I wish y'all would go ahead and say it, is y'all are upset that we are finally setting boundaries and we've decided to not include y'all fuckers anymore. That's why y'all coming up saying the stuff that y'all saying that we have no culture. We didn't invent this. We don't want to give other people. You done lost your motherfucking mind. The little piece that you have left.
Just Eve. Just Eve.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy January. Today is Friday, January 10th, 2025. I'm Eve, and tonight, well, I'm going to try my best to not talk so long. I know I'm late, but, life be lifing. And it's Friday night. Y'all should be out living your best lives, not waiting for, a YouTube video to drop. But if you were waiting for my show, I appreciate that. And I do appreciate your continued support. Should you like what I have to say, or, the things that I have to say, the like button is there for your pleasure. And maybe share the conversation, because I'm not here to do anything more than start a conversation. And then, from there, uncomfortable times. Black America's been dealing with uncomfortable times the entire time. And then, once everybody has a dose of what Black America's been dealing with, shit starts getting very strange. From people throwing themselves off of buildings, I don't exaggerate, to people offing themselves and their family, still not exaggerating. When life be lifing for other groups of people, they don't take it as well. And I wonder if that's just part of our foundation, the resilience of it all, the hard work of it all. But less talk about us and more talk about us, the United States. Earlier this week, I saw on X, Elon, and he was trolling Justin Trudeau. And I have no love for Trudeau or Elon Musk. I find that his app is very offensive to Black America, but it is also offensive to other groups of people. I do like the equality of it all. And, I'm kind of here for it. I do think that sometimes we do get extra targeted, but it's okay. We can take it because we've been taking the blunt end of the stick for so long, and it's almost like you niggas like it. So who am I to say that, Elon's oppression on his app that he bought and paid for, isn't what we asked for. So shout out to you, Elon, the South African American in America. Well, anyway, what's going on, Crates and All the Way Free in the chat? That's a very nice sentiment. I'm appreciative of a thought like this because, well, a lot of you niggas say that I put you to sleep, and I don't like that as much as I kind of get it because it has been explained a few different times. I'm not trying to bore anybody, and I know you don't say that it's boring, but I guess it's the frequency. So tonight, let's talk about America. Let's talk about us before you go to bed, Crates. And I guess before I go to bed too, because it is late here, so I'm not gonna belabor the issue. I'm just gonna maybe get right into it. So Elon was trolling Trudeau earlier, and it was so funny to me when I read this tweet because not only does Elon use girl, he says, "Girl, you're not the governor of Canada anymore." It's in response to, I think, Trump trolling the world because Trump's been talking big talk about, what America's going to do, what America's not going to do, if things don't happen when he says that they should happen before he takes office, well, the shit's gonna hit the fan. And I guess I kind of always liked that about Trump. He is the president that we all learned about. When you become the president, you have the authority to do things. That's why every nigga in America who voted for Barry Sotoros Obama voted for that nigga. They said, well, shit, we haven't gotten things because we haven't seen us in the White House, at least in hundreds of years, and never on the side of making the powerful decisions. No, we've seen us working on the White House, working in the White House, but still, we thought, and I guess in error, in hindsight, being 2020, we thought that having a melanated person in the White House was the way to get these things that the president is supposed to be able to give us or do, or they have this power. But then I guess maybe that's just a fairy tale. As you are a child and as you're learning about our system and government and policies and politics, as children, we learn that people and the positions these people have, they can trump another person's position, just depending on who they are and where they are. We learn about nepotism and the good old boy system. We learn about people doing things for people just because they like them. And, you learn that that person might not have been the best person to pick for the team, but his best friend was the captain of the team, and you didn't get picked because nobody knows that you can ball. They just know that they want their homies on the squad, so everybody that they like gets chosen, and then maybe you get left out. I don't know. That hasn't ever been my story, but I'm sure it's a story for somebody. And if that is your story, it's okay. It just means that while we're all waking up to the discomfort of maybe we're not in the role we're supposed to be in. Maybe we're doing more than we're supposed to. Maybe we're not doing enough, and that gets uncomfortable, that not doing enough. Or maybe you thought you were doing as much as you could do, but you find that you are not in the role that you're supposed to be in. The president, we all learned that the president can do the things. Barack Obama became the president and niggas ain't get no things. And it was like, wait a minute, what? Okay, well, I guess, yeah, everything they said about the fairy tale is true. The president does have to, respond and do things on accord with other groups of people. It's not just the president. You have to wait your turn and yada, yada, yada. Trump becomes president and things just start happening. And it's like, wait a minute. I thought y'all said that. Wait, what? I thought y'all said. Hold up, what? So, when Trump, I think, in my humble opinion, starts trolling the world, saying things like, we're going to buy certain countries and we're just going to, make things great by making it American. Not only does it tickle me, but I kind of feel him because it's that unapologetic spirit that I think is very American. The uncompromisingly, it's going to be our way or no way of the Boston Tea Party, which was, American. I would love for us to get back to some American values. It seems like we're taking on some very Greek and other values, the sex of it all. And everybody calls America Babylon, but I'm not going to talk about that tonight. I do want to talk about the Gulf of America. Because, okay, let me make me small on the screen and get to the little picture in the background, the thumbnail, if you can see it. If you can't see it, maybe you can see it now. Okay, the Gulf of Mexico, where I have labeled the Gulf of America. Trump said the Gulf of America, and I don't know why I'd never thought about it like that. It's very strange because isn't the landmass that Mexico is on, isn't that North America? So wouldn't it actually be accurate for it to be labeled the Gulf of America? I don't know. I mean, again, Trump trolling the world at this point. I'm not saying that he means anything that he says, because I think that that's everybody's mess up when it comes to Trump, that they try to think about his intent or, the reasons why. How about let him do it and then let him tell you why? I guess that's hard for people who want to thwart his plans or people who want to oppose him in any direction. I mean, I think there are a lot of different things that America could have done as a whole if they wanted to avoid a Trump presidency, or I guess another Trump presidency, but it didn't. It didn't do these things at all. If anything, it went guns to the wall in the other direction, the one to ensure that we had a Trump presidency and another Trump presidency. But when that man said the Gulf of America, it was just like the mathed. And I know we're only 10 days into the year, but I've had a couple shows this year so far. And if you've tuned in for any of the shows for 2025, you'll know that, yeah, I said the math ain't mathin'. But as Black Americans, we have to get better with our language. We have to be very specific, because if we're not, then, well, the math ain't gonna math. It's not. I mean, it's what we said. And then, well, look around you. It's not. We're going to have to do better and then see the benefit and reap the benefits of the work that was done. So, yeah, woe is me. Yeah, shit's not right. But do we sit in squalor? No. Black Americans, at least the ones who have been here since the foundation of this country, the ones who were instrumental in the formation of the country, I guess we have a way about ourselves. And since most everything over here is ours and has been taken from us, I think we should have a say in the labeling of things. Delineation Nation, the era of us naming ourselves. It came at a time where people were chopping off body parts and saying that they were Cybertron. And I mean, I get it. You got a lot of mechanics now. You are a transformer. But then if I call you a transformer, you're getting mad at me. I don't understand. That maths. What doesn't math, and what we had been saying, is that you can't chop off your penis and your balls and call yourself a woman. No. But then I guess maybe enough of us weren't saying that you need to call yourself something else. Trans woman and trans man is too close to home. But, not my kitchen, not my mess, not my pots, not my circus, not my animals. We've got all sorts of ways of avoiding responsibility and shirking accountability. It's almost like we are asking for the debauchery. I think I've said this, so if I haven't said this, I've thought this for a while, and if I had said this, then I don't mean to be repetitive, but I'm just saying, self-inflicted wounds hurt the most because you knew better. You didn't do anything about it. You knew the corner of the table was coming, but you didn't move the right way. You didn't move fast enough, and you hit the funny bone. You knew that you were moving through them papers very fast, and a paper cut could come, and it's just a paper cut. I mean, most of us aren't even dealing with paper anymore anyway. What's a paper cut? And then damn it if that shit isn't throbbing for hours, if not the next day, and it's like, it didn't do anything, but damn it, it's doing so much. Black America has been dealing with the self-inflicted wound of the minority being the majority. Now they are the self-identified minority, and we're still not doing anything? Or are we? I think that us naming ourselves however we wanted to name ourselves, whether it be freedmen, whether it be a descendant of an enslaved person, whether it be a part of the foundation, like however you decided to name yourself in the past 5 years, has been different than the names that they've wanted you to take on. Even if you just want it to be Black. Because I guess that is the original. That is the first frequency name, Black First. But, I don't know. I don't know if people want to start being the first Black. You start saying things like Black First, and you might end up being the first Black convicted of revenge porn in Virginia. I don't know. It's about being specific, right? Because I think we're a very powerful people, and this language is ours, so we should use it responsibly. If you want to be brilliant, if you're acknowledging the brilliance that is Black and how we came first, then yeah, Black first to you too. But if it's just because your favorite YouTuber is saying it and you just thought it was just really cool, and yeah, it's not just a slogan, it's a lifestyle, but then, well, the only thing you're really doing is financing someone's law fees and tricking around the country. You don't know it, but, it's just, well, if you look at someone's bank account, you can see where their interests are. If it's just in funding and fueling someone's YouTube and you're not actually doing anything in your real life, then shame on you. Because you're a person saying that things need to be better, but you're not doing anything to make things better. Creates, shout out to you because, Black music, our sound, and remembering these things, I think that that's a task. Dewan and Tariq, they're not the only people who know about our sound. It's going to take more than just everybody's favorite YouTuber to talk about our music for things to move. But shout out to Dewan and Tariq for getting Fat Joe's ass off of the BET. Was it the BET Awards? Whatever awards he was about to be hosting, because you're not even Black. I mean, if every white person's favorite rapper hasn't hosted the BET Awards. And if Eminem has hosted the BET Awards, then that just shows y'all how far removed I am from BET. But I don't think he has. And if Eminem hasn't hosted the BET Awards, then why should Fat Joe? I mean, did y'all see that nigga in the back of the party? Marshall, at least, is, crazy enough to link up with some fat niggas who look like they would probably protect him. But I don't want to go too far on Marshall and just say that Fat Joe is... I thought we liked Pun. Why did Pun have to go? If both them niggas was dealing with the same health issues, how? I don't know. Some of these questions need to be asked, and if they have been asked, then they need to get some answers. But the Gulf of America does have a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Elon was talking to Justin Trudeau about Canada becoming a part of America. And I just wonder, with the countries that have been talked about in the acquisition aspect, we are definitely still in imperialism times, countries being purchased and countries being blown to bits, people not existing anymore, and nobody giving a damn. Greenland only has like 56,000 people in it. And when you look at it on a map, it already looks like it's a part of North America. I mean, some sources identify it as a part of North America, even though it's not North America, or it's a European nation inside of North America, which is very strange, very strange. We've got different continents for a reason, unless we don't have different continents for a reason. And if we don't have different continents for a reason, then are we already in the New World Order? Like the United Nations is already changing, has already changed, and because we're not even following the current rules, that's why the math ain't mathin'? I don't know. When Trump said the Gulf of America, and that's not what it's already called, and then the Mexican president having so much to say, but this bitch has open borders, and not that they actually have open borders, but the border is a two-way street. If you don't let people across, then they can't come. I mean, we can't man both sides of the border, right? What the fuck is going on? And then Canada, well, they do have significantly more people than Greenland. Let's just be honest. I mean, if you just look at it on this map, it even looks bigger than Greenland, even though on the maps that most people use, all the countries are, skewed and nothing is as big as it's supposed to be. I'm just saying, 38 million people in Canada. I think that it would do better under our American protection blanket, right? I mean, what's another state? They pushed so hard for Puerto Rico, and I know they're not a state yet, and I guess there are steps that have to be taken, but the way these niggas from Puerto Rico come over here and say that they're American and they're owed reparations too, I'm just saying, a lot of my ancestors and maybe a lot of y'all's ancestors, so I'm just going to say, nobody I can name, but people that we can look up for sure, moved to Canada because they didn't know that they had got the freedom yet. Them niggas was running and running and running and running, and they was in Canada, goddammit. And shit, is it freedom yet? I mean, it's freedom about 100 miles ago, but, welcome to Canada. So I don't know. It seems natural. And for what it's worth, I know that most people think that the enslaved ran north. They didn't only run north. They ran south too. And the way that the blacks were able to help Mexico, and there's a whole holiday about it, Cinco de Mayo, it seems like Mexico is ours as well. You got people saying that they're not Mexican, they're of the Taino, and it's like them people aren't here anymore. So now you something else. And now we've got this term, Latin America. Where the fuck is Latin America? Oh, it's this cultural designation. And well, shit, if spicy whites can have a cultural designation, then so can we. New America. Fuck it. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of people still dealing with some colorism, and they're not black, they're cinnamon. They're not black, they're caramel. And yeah, I guess we always go with the savory and the sweet, but it's all the same when it comes to the system that's been used to dominate and oppress us. And if we are the majority, then we should start acting like it. I guess it starts with saying, yeah, we are who we say we are, and y'all know who we are. I guess from there, we make them cut the check to the appropriate people. And from there, well, it sounds like the possibilities are endless. I mean, why not Panama? It only has 4 million people. And when you add Panama and Canada's GDP to ours, it's like we are an unstoppable force. I mean, Mexico, you got a GDP in there too, but the way that the numbers was looking, nobody really knows which end of the spectrum you were going to be on, if it was going to be on the 1.4 trillion side, if it's going to be on the 4 trillion side. I think it's because you got a lot of crime, but come under that American blanket, then maybe we can do something about that. Tom Homan is very eager to start working. I mean, he's been nipping at the bit for days. It seems like we would have a very lucrative relationship with these countries that are attached to us already, to kind of just make it official. We got side bitches. We just know it. We just need to go ahead and make it official. It's a lot of weird fuckery going on in America, and not weird fuckery that makes sense. Y'all want to fuck kids and not fuck two bitches. I don't understand. Outside of, you start adding women to your household, and now you've got lots of bills that haven't gotten paid yet, and you start prioritizing things, and that's not my life, so let me not speak on someone else's life. Let me just say that the way we already taken care of Mexico, and the way we already taken care of Canada, and the way that nobody seems to give a shit about the 56,000 people in Greenland, like they pay their taxes and they just exist, like right there, encroachable by our enemies, whoever they are. That's too close. Might as well put them in the blanket, right? And if everybody's in the blanket, then why not the Gulf of America? All the way free. You're right. It is national security that we're talking about tonight, because if all of these groups of people flee to the middle of the continent, then what happens to our borders for real? I mean, think about it. If all the Mexicans don't want to be in Mexico no more, it sounds like our enemies, whoever they are, can just go occupy Mexico. And what if that's what's already happening? I mean, do you know how many people Border Patrol says crossed illegally? Because I'm going to let you know the number that they give out, 11 million, they say is wrong. And it's wrong in a way where it's low. 11 million are the people that they might have seen on the Ring app. Yeah, that person's not from here, but what can we do about it? What about the ones that weren't caught on camera stealing a cookie? What about the ones that came over in tunnels? Dark Knight, 30 million? Yeah. It is my belief that replacing our on-paper population was the goal. And on paper, we're only 40 million because we've been 14% of the population for 150 years. Lucky for us, they've been fucking the numbers up. They're so stupid and racist white supremacists that they don't understand that lying about how many niggas is over here is making the game fucked up for everybody else, because they get over here and they're like, it's going to be real easy. And then it's not. They get over here and they're like, why are these niggas fighting back so hard? Because it's a lot of us. It's never been 14% of the population. If it were, then the South Afrikaners wouldn't have come over here to study how to keep the majority population oppressed. If it were a minority situation, we wouldn't be here anymore. We would be like the Tasmanians or any other Aboriginal group of people that you can go and look at their remains in a museum. When people say, well, where are them original Indians? Where are they at? Where are the original Incas and the Mayans and the Mandinkas? And well, y'all just need to tune in to Dr. Winters on Thursday. I'm sure he will give you the map to find the people that you are searching for. But just know, it's not who you thought. And when you find out that the niggas is still here, the math starts mathing. Just like the Gulf of America. Because I'm sorry, I can't unhear that. I can't unsee that. North America is our continental name. And as much as we don't actually have a cultural line of heritage like Latin America does on paper, there are a lot more of us than we're giving ourselves credit for. And if that's the case, and since that's the case, then maybe it's time we do something about it.
Just Eve. Just Eve.